Hey there, gamers! In one of his most famous works, Candide, French Enlightenment writer Voltaire has the protagonist Candide ask his companion if he's ever been to France, to which he answers, Oui, j'ai parcouru plusieurs provinces. Il y en a où la moitié des habitants est folle, quelqu'une où l'on est trop rusé, d'autres où l'on est communément assez douce et assez bête, d'autres où l'on fait le bel esprit. Et dans toutes, la principale occupation est l'amour, la seconde, des médire, et la troisième, de dire des sottises. This goes to show that even the French have little respect for their own kind. Known principally for storming the streets at the slightest inconvenience and only clearing them during winter when the Germans pull out their snow chain, it should come as no surprise that the international community holds less respect for the French than I have for myself on a lonely Friday night with a bag of chips in my hands. I hate the French. We all hate the French. Together. However, I hate them more than anyone except maybe those who had to suffer the indignity of being colonized by a bunch of faggots. I hate them with a burning passion. They humiliated me in my first video on this very channel. Today, I'm back with vengeance, and I'm going to do this world a favor by getting rid of this international laughingstock of a nation, Europe's eyesore, my arch nemesis. And I've brought some help.
Hi!
She will be the voice of reason today. My campaign for revenge is anything but a clean run, and she will remind you, as well as me, of all the things I messed up. I think that's called love.
There it is. Mental illness. No.
Well, darling, should we get it on then?
Don't worry, I'll go easy on you.
Alright then. Back we are in the year 1444 with nothing to lose and everything to gain. Iron Man is of course on. I pick a fitting name for the run and...
That's a stupid name.
Is that...
It's not funny just because it rhymes.
Is that how it's going to be?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. I go through the usual process of making friends and enemies alike and send out my diplomats to generate favors for me, while my army focuses on a different kind of diplomacy. The Kaiser finds it lame, Burgundy thinks the same, but stopping would be insane since Great Britain has already surrendered Maine. I turn Trier into a metropolis worthy of the task it's destined to accomplish, and the word Renaissance may have its origin in that despicable tongue of my enemy, but just like their inescapable demise, it'll be the foundation for my rebirth. I try to limit my aggressive expansion while expanding ever more aggressively. I am big think. Sometimes I even have thought or idea.
That certainly is the first time I've ever heard of that. And also, you're wrong. You just said aggressive expansion is your biggest problem, so why does your big think tell you to pick useless military ideas?
Well, they can hardly do anything about me if I am too powerful. Potent, even. Just look at my vassals.
You mean the ones that hate your guts?
They'll come to love me in time, just like you did.
Unlike me, for your sake, I hope they don't get to the part where they'll regret it.
Wow, uncalled for. And I thought France was my biggest enemy here. Emotional turmoil aside, vassalizing and annexing other nations is considered less aggressive than outright conquering them. So, to heed the call of my better half, influence ideas it is.
Wow, you've actually used your brain for once.
But, even through all her bickering, Trier's looking healthy and ever expanding.
Victors on the knee.
I am the shooting star of Central Europe. And with every battle won, the voices and ideas in my head are validated against the naysayers. So hand over your provinces or suffer the consequences. The consequences. The consequences.
So your mistake here was...
Thank you, I see it. It's hard to overlook. Well, what's triumph without a little adversity? I begin rebuilding, and after trampling down that which I have built, the Kaiser now thinks I'm pretty chill. To add insult to injury, the enemy declares their golden age when I am at my lowest. But there's no stopping me, as I'm taking back what was mine from the start and collecting German states like, well, Germany, I guess. Together with my new best friends in Baden, I enter the Age of Reformation. And what a beautiful age it is. An age of constant battle for sure, but also an age of constant victory. Like flocks of murderous crows, I send out my armies to devastate all who border me. gliding from war to war. There's nowhere to hide from my all-seeing eyes. Soon, they all will have joined my flock, and together, we'll paint the sky to the west black.
Cringe. So you're just going to leave out the part where you lost against the Ottomans?
Where nothing is lost, there is nothing to talk about.
And how almost every province in your Catholic bishopric is reformed.
My country has always believed in a strong, secular ruler, and if my people wish to abandon Catholicism, then who am I to stop them?
Very noble of you, but maybe you should have switched to the religion your people truly believe in and not the one they believe in even less.
Oh.
Also, don't you want to be emperor?
Wait, what?
You need to have the empire's religion to become emperor. See, you even lost your place as an elector, but I'm sure you had it all planned out, so I'll leave you to it. You got this.
Oh God.
Right. Let's see where my enemies are after all this. Ooh, right. Allied to the Ottomans and Spain. The two greatest powers in the world. Yeehaw. Having any fighting chance against this Übermacht will require a lot of work. And for now, I'm just glad they antagonize Austria and leave me mostly unscathed. My alliance with Austria ends as I duck out of the League War, but being able to expand more freely without Daddy Kaiser breathing down my neck was definitely worth it. Oh, a herald has just arrived. Let's hear him out then.
My King Elector, it is with greatest regret that we must inform you of the depletion of the European beaver. The world should never behold the magnificent likes again.
What tragedy.
Additionally, you are now recognized as one of the world's greatest powers. May thy throne of beaver bones never crumble under thine cheeks, sire.
Well. Celebrations are in order. If that doesn't call for a war of aggression from which we stand to gain absolutely nothing, then I don't know what does.
I suppose congratulations are in order. How about a complimentary war against France and the Ottomans?
No thank you, darling. I like sexy Lauenburg's present much more, cause they're giving themselves up to my reign with nothing more than a gift ribbon covering them.
Pervert.
Call me a pervert all you want. At least I got a big old harem of submissive toys.
That's disgusting.
Far from it. Empires arise and the weak shall kneel. It is simply the nature of things.
Blah, blah, blah. Can we get back to the innuendo? That cringy monologuing is making me gag. No.
Okay, how about this? I try to expand more into Scandinavian free real estate, and as I get caught up in the same war as Poland, they can't assist their allies in Denmark when I declare on them. Sounds clever, huh? It would be, if I had any way to get across the Baltic Sea, and if the Polish didn't join the war later on. Well, maybe the age of absolutism will see this particular endeavor come true. In order to weaken the French colonialist pigs, I set up an alliance with Spain while I continue to spread my influence north. I make friends with Norway, Brandenburg tries to call me into war against Denmark, which I'm really not a fan of, so I decline and declare war on Denmark. Norway gets sieged down and told we can't be friends anymore, but their misery can't compare to that of the men who had to walk over 2,000 kilometers to occupy the Danish hinterlands. Or that of Austria getting torn apart in a third war against France and the Ottomans. So, now we've got a direct route into Denmark, but first, I think Brandenburg is getting a little chunky out here, so it's time to make sure they adhere to their diet.
No.
You can't escape me!
Du Kind! Komm, Junge! Fick dich!
Oh god, this isn't looking good. Why am I losing every battle? I am much more powerful than them. Oh, and Norway's parents told them to stay away from me again. Am I that bad of an influence? Hey, where is everybody?
Say, are you familiar with the concept of tactics?
Oh, right. Tactics. That's one of those thinking thought kind of things, right? You've always been better at that. Wait, I'll try it. Look, it worked.
Amazing.
Wait, I got another one for you. By now, Spain owes me enough favors for a little request, so adieu, mes amis. And that only leaves the Ottomans. But don't worry, I've got a plan. It's a treacherous one. One that I cannot be proud of when the dust settles. But when you venture into the depths of the abyss and you attempt to cleanse it of the shadows cast by Le Monstre, you can expect to emerge with a code untarnished by its tenebrous malevolence. I have returned from such a venture, drenched in vile depravity. And let me tell you.
Just tell them what you did.
And let me tell you.
He allied the French.
Hey, I was just building up to this.
And then he used favors to tell them
Adieu,
to break up with the
mes
Ottomans before breaking up with France himself, leaving them all alone. Isn't that so, darling?
I'm about to break up with you.
Unfortunately, you've already used up all your favors with me by dragging me into this video.
Okay, fine. That's what happened. Oh well, let's just dismantle the Holy Roman Empire first then. The Emperor is weak right now anyway, and I can easily take out the electors. Maybe this would have even worked if I hadn't vassalized the Emperor. Now I've got to deal with Austria, as well as a coalition again. Once this whole coalition thing blows over, I go at it again and fight half of the Empire in 3 to 4 different wars at a time. With my overwhelming strength, none of my enemies are any sort of challenge whatsoever, and the only one that could be, Austria, is busy getting overrun by Lithuania. So the moment that particular war is over, I rush for the Emperor's capital, as it's all I need from them. With the electors under my occupation or already integrated into the flock of my vassals, and the Empire's throbbing heart in my hand, I firmly clench my fist and squish the life out of the Holy Roman Empire. Then, I declare the nation of Trier as the glorious empire it always ought to be, and under the watchful testicles of the Scandinavian fellows, everything else in the Germanic region is no fair game to my appetite. The only ones I keep alive are my friends from Baden who have been there for me from the beginning. My people may be tired and dissatisfied, but get stacked, white proletarians. I am now more powerful than my nemesis. I have all the allies I could ask for, and I am free of the chains of an impotent empire. It's time for a showdown.
Draw!
This is it, the big moment the centuries have been turning towards. Revenge, at last. The moment my messenger reads aloud the declaration of war to the Emperor of the Unjust, my troops are already descending on their Austrian war effort. They are wiped out, and in their weakened state, overwhelming power paints the land in the color of defeat. Their colonies are helpless and have to watch their pathetic overlord crumble in 2 short years. But I would not want my neighbors to see me as a conqueror, so I merely free nations from the enemy's grasp, now sovereign once more, while making sure they can't hide away in Africa.
Wow, well done.
Silence. We are not done yet. War begets war. The time for words, be they spoken or written into peace treaties, is over. A war ends, another one begins. The invaders leave. Prepare the hearth for their return. Like acid, I corrode the once so proud nation, tear it apart, and eat my way into its core. Always careful to cut them off from the outside world. Then, in a final act of mercy, I welcome their remains into my nation and inherit their children in the new world. Their names are the final thorn I pluck from my eye, filled with the tears of joy, as I name one, and the other one I name after my lovely darling for her help with this video.
Aw, thank you.
It's called Stinky. Gotta run, gamers. Stay shark.